All right, hey everyone, I'm back again with another accounts payable solution. We're going to talk about accounts payable and bill pay in Xero. So we have been talking about different technology and financial technology that is all about paying the bills that you have in your business. And we've talked about QuickBooks Online, we've talked about Melio, we've talked about Ramp, we've talked about Makers Hub, we talked about Bill. And I was like, you know what? We also need to talk about some of the other accounting platforms and what they have already built into the system. So I wanted to make this video specifically about Xero. So if you're a Xero user, that you can check it out and say like, hey, should I be doing my bill pay through Xero as well? Maybe you're using another system. Let's check it out. Or maybe you're curious about Xero, if it's going to be a good accounting platform for you and you want to know, hey, can you get rid of one of these other providers if you move to Xero for all of your accounting solutions? So I'm going to demo that in just a second. Real quick, if you want to understand more about different financial technology and you have a small business, or maybe you work with small businesses, maybe you're a bookkeeper, accountant, something like that, then you definitely want to be following us here on Financial Tech Lab. My name is Hannah Smolinski. I'm a fractional CFO, and I love to just demo and understand and test and play with this financial technology so that we can see what is going to be best for your business. I'm a big believer that there's not really any tool that is one size fits all and best solution for everybody. So I'm here to just demo this for you and you can figure out what might work for you. Okay. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and just jump into Xero. They do have a demo environment for me, so we're going to put in some bills that we've been using in some of our other videos as well, and we're going to play around with this and see what Xero Bill Pay can do. All right, let's get into it. All right, so real quick, if you do want to check out Xero, I do have a discount code with them. So if you are interested in using it for your accounting platform, I would not use it just for bill pay. That doesn't really make any sense. But if you're thinking about moving to it for your accounting platform, they have given me 6 months of discount at 90% off. So if you go to financialtechlab.com/Xero, you will see the discount for 90% off for 6 months, okay? So make sure to check that out if you are interested in kind of testing out Xero and seeing if it's the right fit for you. And also, if you do use our code, we would very much appreciate it because it does help support the channel. So thank you for that. Okay, let's go ahead and look at where we find bill pay. So this is the demo environment, like I said. And then under purchases, there's going to be kind of our accounts payable section is really under purchases. So that's where you're going to find it. So we have bills, we have online bill payments, and then there is the ability to do purchase orders. And then you just have your things like your suppliers, which is like your vendors, and expenses. But what we're going to look at right now, first thing, I'm just going to go ahead and click on online bill payments because I want to talk about how Xero is going to be paying your bills. So Xero is powered by Melio. So we already did a walkthrough of Melio by itself, where you had to log into the Melio platform and you could connect it to your accounting system and you could pay bills out of Melio. Basically, Xero is using the Melio functionality to be able to pay bills directly out of Xero. So you don't need to put your stuff in Xero and then go over to Melio. It's being powered by. So this is a demo environment, so we don't need to do this, but typically you would need to come here and there's going to be a little button here that would have you connect your Xero to Melio. Okay, so just so you know, there is that. And then I do want to just kind of point out, there is a video here on how it works, but there are some fees that I wanted to just point out. So if you're using a bank account or if you're using a card, you're able to do both. So you can send ACH checks, you can do a fast check, an overnight check. You can have this instant bank transfer, same day ACH, wire transfers, and same day wire transfers. And then on a card, they're showing the percentages that will be charged. Okay. So what I like about this is that there are lots of options. So depending on how you need to get your money to your vendor, whoever it is that you're trying to pay, there's a lot of options for you. Okay. So, the faster it is, typically the more expensive it's going to be. But just typical ACH, 50 cents per ACH and then $1.50 per check. Okay. So let's go ahead and pop into the bills section. So going to purchases and going to bills. To get to the bill area, you go to purchases and then click on bills. And so that's where we are here. Across the top, you'll see where we can see things in different statuses. So we can see things that are in draft, awaiting approval, awaiting payment, what's been paid, and then what's on repeat. Okay, but how do we get bills into the system? How do we get stuff in here so that we can take it and we can look at it. So what we're gonna do is look over here where it says new bills, and then we're gonna click on this where it says upload bills, okay? Now, you can also have this forwarding email address. Pretty much all the solutions that we've seen, there's this forwarding email address. Now, I don't see any way to customize this right now, but we are in a demo environment. I'm not sure if that's possible, or if you just need to save this as a contact, and then you should be able to easily forward things to it. But what we're gonna do here is we can upload bills, we can just create a new bill, we can create a repeating bill, a credit note, or we can import bills. So this is pretty similar. I'm seeing this kind of across the board about like how you get bills into the system. Okay, so let's click upload bills, and then we have this drag and drop feature. I'm gonna try taking my 3 bills that I've been playing around with, and it looks like I'm able to drag all 3 super fast. Love that. And it's identifying 3 separate bills, and it read PDF and PNG files, so that's good too. Let's go ahead and upload. And it says it's successful, so let's check that out. So it took a second for them to all show up in draft. So it's not super immediate, but I think that this is interesting. So it did recognize a vendor, because when I was playing around this before I pressed record, I went ahead and set up a vendor here, a Clarity Online. And then the other 2, it did not have a vendor set up in the system. So this is kind of a bummer that it just shows up and says no contact. So it didn't even read the bill enough to tell me what a potential vendor name was. This is something that like I'd say is probably kind of on the lower end of the bill reading technology we've seen as I've been reviewing different systems, that it didn't even like give me a name of the vendor. I think that's kind of bad, because if it goes into my list and I have all these bills, it's hard to see like, well, what is no contact? Like I need to have some kind of reference point for that. So let's go ahead and let's look at these bills one at a time. So here's that first one. This is gonna be the consulting work for the website. So just kind of see like how it works to check out this invoice. I can pop it out here, which is kind of nice as a separate window. I can pop it out. I can pop it back in, which is good. It doesn't look like I have any way to zoom in or resize. Like I can't move this column, which is hard because really that's a teeny tiny little box. So I pretty much have to, make this bigger, and then yeah, I have to push it back in. Okay, well that's that. So it did recognize, because I already had the vendor in the system, it recognized it was from this vendor, and then it does have the correct invoice date and the correct due date in here. It did pull out the correct reference number, and then it pulled out the correct total amount here. Now, something that I thought was really interesting is it didn't even try to give me a description or put an account in here. That's also a little bit disappointing, because that kind of is an indicator to me that maybe there's not a lot of like OCR or AI technology that it's using to be able to get the bill data into the system. We're gonna look at a couple other ones and see if it gets any better, but like, I'm seeing this and I'm going, hey, that's not super great. Also, I'm not getting any kind of clear, clickable copy paste either. So I can kind of copy and paste this because it's a PDF. So I Control C and then I Control V to get that description in there. And then, maybe I just have to type in, well, I don't have this chart of accounts. I don't know what this chart of accounts is, but maybe I can just put this in advertising, for example, because I don't have a website account apparently. I don't have to put an item in here because an item is more like inventory, and I don't want to do that. So I just have description, and then I have the account, and then that's kind of it. Let's see what other bill options I have. I can repeat this one, I can delete it, I can copy it, and then I can click save. I can click save as draft and keep it in that draft section. I can click save and continue editing. I can save and submit for approval, and I can save and add another. I can also go directly to approve over here. I can approve and then add another bill, or I can approve and view next. So what I noticed here is that there's not any place for me to add on another approver. So I don't have the ability to send this to Joe in project management, or I can send it over to Cindy and the controller of the company. Now, there's some technology that we're going to talk about down the road, potentially, that could sit on top of Xero and provide more complex approvals, but that's, We'll see about that. But it doesn't look like in the system that we have anything for multiple levels of approval, at least not at this level of the demo company. If anybody knows, maybe Xero's watching this, put it in the comments below if you are thinking about adding more complex approvals. But so far I don't see it. So what we're gonna do here is just click approve and view next and see if it takes me to that next draft bill, which it does. Okay, so interesting. This is the file name, but still it says up here, no contact in the vendor form. And also it doesn't really give me a drop-down menu either here. So I'm just gonna let's type in Ziply fiber. So it looks like it was trying to search for something. So so if there was a contact in here, I could put it in there, but let's type in Ziply fiber and then just create a new contact. Okay, now interesting, this contact has different default settings from the previous one. Make sure they're still correct. Okay, so it didn't have me do like a full vendor setup, which actually is kind of interesting because then I'm gonna have like partial information. It's not gonna let me put in all the information. So I'm a little surprised about that. Typically, if it didn't recognize a vendor, it wants you to kind of, like in some of the other systems we've looked at, it wants you to like put payment information in and their address and their contact information, email address, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So this is just not asking for that. And then this is the billing date and then the due date, and it doesn't have a reference number. This is one that didn't have an invoice number, so that's fine. And then it did recognize the total amount due of $106.58. But again, no description, no account. It's just not being very smart, is just kind of the short answer here. It's gonna, if you have simple bills, I think this would be fine. But if you have a lot of line items or something, like you do not want to be sitting here typing this stuff in. November internet is what I'm gonna put in here. And then let's see if they have an internet account. Telephone and internet, they sure do. So I've coded it. So now I've reviewed the bill. The due date looks correct. Reference number, you know, we can put that in there, we cannot put it in there. Typically you'd want to have an invoice number to reference to this particular bill, but maybe we could just put November 26 in here, or 25. And then I'm going to do the same thing and approve and view next. All right, this is one that again, a lot of detail happened here. You can see this invoice. If you checked out the other videos that I did on some of the other platforms, I used this invoice a couple times because I liked that it had handwriting on it. I wanted to confuse the system. I wanted it to not know what to do. Now it read the PNG file. That's good. Like it read the 825, so it did that right. But as far as like, it didn't recognize the vendor, it didn't recognize the description or the account or anything like that. So what we're gonna put in here is we're gonna create a new contact. Again, not full vendor setup. And then it does have an invoice date. Now it didn't raise any red flags, the fact that this was 2019. So I think that's also interesting. So it kind of no date controls around there. And then this might be similar. No, I'm just not seeing that Xero has the technology right now to read what's on the incoming file and to populate it into this section down here. I was gonna say like maybe if the Xero file was set up with inventory items, then maybe it would recognize it, but it's not showing that the system wants to recognize anything based on the other invoices that we looked at. So I'm just kind of thinking it's not the case. So this would not be good for me as an inventory owner of a business like this, because I would have to sit here and add a line item for every single one of these things if I want to have detailed inventory. And this would be super manual. I can't just click and copy and paste and copy and paste. I can't, you know, this is gonna be a higher likelihood of having an error here because I'm gonna have to do all of this manually and break this out. So I don't like that. I don't think that is a good indicator for this being very good for like complex inventory. And you know, there's no inventory here. Let's see. So I would probably I'd have to put it to cost of goods sold just for the purposes of this video. And then I'm just gonna approve that. And so now let's go back to our bills. Now we don't have anything in draft, and now we don't have anything awaiting approval because we approved them as we went. So now we have awaiting payment. So this is going to be, let's take our Clarity, Ziply, and Barocco, and then let's click on make payment here. So we have the ability to do checks or to do a batch payment, record payment to multiple bills. Let's just do a check to see what happens here. Okay, so this is giving me a warning that we don't have any addresses here. And, you know, clearly that's not going to work too well if we don't have an address. So let's see. So we're not going to be able to do that right now. Now, this is at a point where Bill Pay has not been fully set up, and I don't really want to get it fully set up either. Let's see if we can look at one of our other bills here and see if it has some information. So yeah, it's wanting me to set up Bill Pay, which makes sense that it would not allow me to do anything. I'm just going to double check. Yeah. So again, this is a demo file. You can go and check this out. Now, when I watch the video, the demo here, let's just kind of see if we can skip to that part. This is kind of how it would work, where each individual item, you can choose the delivery method, and then you can choose, you know, the delivery speed, and it'll tell you when it's going to be delivered. You have the option to select like earliest possible or on the due date. And then it would accumulate the fees over here on the side. So if it's the paper check, that's the $150. And then if it's an ACH transfer, that's the $50. And so you have like your options there to make those payments. So this is just kind of a quick little snapshot of what that will look like. All right. And then once your bills are paid, they're going to be here in the paid section. So let's see, let's just look and see what something like this would look like afterwards. Okay, well, this is a demo company, so we're not going to be able to see what it looks like, but essentially you'll be able to look at what you have paid. So if somebody has come in and they, you know, say like, hey, we didn't get a bill paid, like you could go and help research like your prior history here, okay? And you can search here. So if I go to Oliver, is this going to be, yes, I can pull up everything for Oliver Gray. Okay, and you have some filters here too, which is nice. And then you can also set up repeating payments. So this is great for things like rent or utilities, things like that, that might be consistently the same month over month. Or maybe you have a vendor that, you know, they perform regular services for you and you pay them the same amount every month. This is great for that as well. So that is a quick highlight of Xero Bill Pay, between the accounts payable and the ability to make payments through the system. Again, they are partnered with Melio for that actual bill payment part of the process. So just make sure you know that. And if you have any other questions about Xero, or you want to see more Xero videos, make sure to put them in the comment section below. And hopefully this was helpful. And again, if you do want to check out Xero, you can go to financialtechlab.com/Xero to get that 6-month discount that we talked about. So if that is interesting to you, please go and check it out. And if you have any other questions, please put them in the comment section below. All right, I will see you in the next video.